Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchan Gaurangi Radhe Vrindaneshwari, Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chev Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jai Mudhire. Guru Sri Radhe Golokananda Bhagwan ki Jai. Guru Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Alright, शुरू करते हैं हम लोग. Of course 7th canto we are on, 7वें स्कंद में 5वां अध्याय हम लोग पढ़ रहे हैं. And last week we read this shlok 43 and 44, right? Or this is about Hiranyakashipu could not kill his son by throwing him beneath the feet of big elephants, throwing him among huge, fearless, fearful snakes, employing destructive spells, hurling him from the top of a hill, conjuring up illusory tricks, administering poison, starving him, exposing him to severe cold, winds, fire, and water, or throwing heavy stones to crush him. When Hiranyakashipu found that he could not in any way harm Prahlāda, who was completely sinless, he was in great anxiety about what to do next. Yeah. So how Lord Vishnu is protecting Prahlāda Maharaj? Yeah. Bhakta Prahlāda is what is being shown here. And we know that Hiranyakashipu, as we know, Hiranyakashipu asked Prahlāda Maharaj, what is it which he learned in Gurukul, right? And the two gurus, Shand and Amark, who are the sons of Shukracharya ji, right? And they taught him whatever had to be taught, but Prahlāda Maharaj already had this devotional service built in, and he did not learn anything. And to Hiranyakashipu, he answered. What was his answer? The best thing he learned was the 9 devotional process. Yeah, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Shmaranam, right? Archanam, Dasham, Sakyam. So that's what Prahlāda Maharaj said. Hiranyakashipu was very angry, and then he tries to kill him actually, and he tries all those things. But no harm can be done to Prahlāda Maharaj. Yeah, that's where we are. That's what we are reading right now.
Bless you.
Sorry, yeah, thank you. Yeah, so Anilji.
एष में बहु साधुक्तो वदोपायाश्च निर्मिताः तैस्तैर्द्रोहैरसद्मैर्मुक्तः स्वनैव तेजसा. Hiranyakashipu thought, I have used many ill names in chastising this boy Prahlāda and have devised many means of killing him, but despite all my endeavors, he could not be killed. Indeed, he saved himself by his own powers without being affected in the least by these treacheries and abominable actions. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Sveneva Tejasaya, by his own powers. Yeah, but Lord Vishnu's protection, he could save himself. Ajay.
वर्तमानो विदुरे वै बालोप्य जड़ धीर्यम न विस्मरति मे नार्य शुनः श्रेप इव प्रभु. Although he is very near to me and is merely a child, he is situated in complete fearlessness. He resembles dog's curved tail, which can never be straightened because he never forgets my misbehavior and his connection with his master, Lord Vishnu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, connection with Shepaiva Prabhu hai. With Lord Vishnu, he never forgets the connection. Aprameyanuභavo ayam kuttaksvidyo amrah nunam mrityurme bhavita nava. I can see that this boy's strength is unlimited, for he has not feared any of my punishments. He appears immortal. Therefore, because of my enmity toward him, I shall die. Or maybe this will not take place. Yeah. So Hiranyakashipu is really worried. Yeah, Anilji.
इति तच्चिन्त्या किञ्चिन्मलानाश्रिय मधोमुखं षण्डामर्कावशनसो विविक्त इति होचतुः. Thinking in this way, the king of the Daityas, morose and bereft of bodily luster, remained silent with his face downward. Then Sanda and Amark, the two sons of Shukracharya, spoke to him in secret. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So he's so worried. And then Shand and Amark, who are also the gurus of Prahlāda Maharaj in that Gurukul, speaks to Hiranyakashipu. Ajay.
Jitam tvayeken jagat tatrayam bhuvor vijimir vijimrastra samastidhishyapam natasya chinte tavnath chachvahe navay shishunam gurdoshayo padam. O Lord, we know that when you simply move your eyebrows, all the commanders of the various planets are most afraid. Without the help of any assistant, you have conquered all the three worlds. Therefore, we do not find any reason for you to be morose or full of anxiety. As for Prahlāda, he is nothing but a child and cannot be a cause of anxiety. After all, his bad or good qualities have no values. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So who is speaking right now?
This gurus.
Yeah, Shand and Amark, right? And they are speaking to Hiranyakashipu because Hiranyakashipu is so worried, right, that he could not do anything to Prahlāda Maharaj, even though he went through all the all the hardships he could do, right?
So who is speaking this?
So Shand and Akarm, right? They are sons of Shukracharya.
Okay.
Shukracharya ji is guru of all the demons. And if you remember, Hiranyakashipu sends Prahlāda Maharaj to the Gurukul, demons Gurukul, and the gurus there are Shand and Akar, who are sons of Shukracharya. Right? And then if you remember, when Prahlāda Maharaj came back and he asked him what was the best thing he learned, and he told him about Archanam, Dasham, Sakyam, right? Vishnu, Padsmaranam. And Hiranyakashipu was very upset. So first he was upset on Shand and Akar. He thought like they gave him the education. Right? Then they told him like they are not the ones who has done it. And then of course he says kill Prahlāda Maharaj, and then he tries all those kind of things, and he's not able to do any harm to Prahlāda Maharaj. Then he's worried. So when he's worried, Shand and Akar are telling him that Jitam Tvaye Kena Jagatrayam, like all three lok, Hiranyakashipu had won all three loks. Yeah, he dispersed even all Devata loks, right? And so he's saying like you don't have any cause of worry, right? And as far as Prahlāda Maharaj is concerned, Sishu Nam Guna Dosya Padam, like Prahlāda Maharaj is a child, right? He cannot be cause of anxiety. His bad or good qualities have no value. So this is how they try to console Hiranyakashipu. Yeah. Imam tu pashe varunasya baddhava nidehi bhito na palayate yatha uddikshya punso vaisarya sevaya yavad gurur bhargav agamishyati. until the return of our spiritual master Shukracharya, arrest this child with the ropes of Varun so that he will not flee in fear. In any case, by the time he is somewhat grown up and has assimilated our instructions or served our spiritual master, he will change in his intelligence. Thus, there need be no cause for anxiety. Yeah. So this is what Shand and Amar are telling Hiranyakashipu, that no cause of anxiety, because as he grows up and as he surrenders to the Sukracharya, right, he will change in intelligence, is what they are telling. Anilji?
तथेति गुरुपुत्रोक्त मनुज्ञायेदम ब्रवीत् धर्मो ह्यस्योपदेष्टव्यो राज्ञां यो गृहमेधिनाम्. After hearing these instructions of Shand and Amar, the sons of his spiritual master, Hiranyakashipu agreed and requested them to instruct Prahlāda in that system of occupational duty, which is followed by royal householder families. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Griha Meghi Nam. So then Hiranyakashipu again asks them to continue education for Prahlāda Mahārāja. Ajay?
धर्ममर्थ च कामं च नितरा चानुपूर्वशः प्रह्लादायोच्युतु राजमन् प्रशित्वावनवताय च. Thereafter, Sun and Amar systematically and unceasingly taught Prahlāda Maharaj, who was very submissive and humble about mundane religion, economic development, and sense gratification. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so Shand and Amar then continue education for Prahlāda Maharaj. Hiranyakashipu could not harm Prahlāda Maharaj at all, right? So then afterwards they continue education in Dharma, Artha and Kamam. Yeah. And but the Prahlāda Maharaj is very humble, but they continue his education. Hello, Hare Krishna Prem. Prem sir. Okay.
Hare Krishna, Devendraji.
Hare Krishna, padhoge?
There are 4 processes for human society: Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha, and they culminate in liberation. Human society must follow a process of religion to advance, and on the basis of religion, one should try to develop his economic conditions so that he can fulfill his needs for sense gratification according to the religious rules and regulations. Then liberation from material bondage will be easier to attain. That is the Vedic process. When one is above the stages of Dharma, Artha, Kama, and Moksha, one becomes a devotee. He is then on the platform from which he is guaranteed not to fall again to material existence. Yad Gatva Na Nirvatne. As advised in Bhagavad Gita, if one transcends these 4 processes and is actually liberated, one engages in devotional service, then he is guaranteed not to fall to material existence again. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the important thing mentioned here is once one engages in devotional service, then he is guaranteed not to fall to material existence.
So, one question here. I thought moksha, it says even you have to go beyond moksha. Whereas I thought moksha itself was the ultimate aim in a way.
So, if you read this, Prem sir, right, and even before we have read about this again and again, for the devotees, moksha is not the ultimate goal. Yeah. Because moksha is also self-realization and you get to Vaikuntha Lok also, right? But if you are not a devotee, you don't go back to the spiritual planets like highest lok, like Golok and the other planets, right? So what happens is, moksha is not equivalent to a devotee's end goal, and a devotee's end goal is always to serve and surrender to Lord Krishna. That's his end goal. Moksha is not the end goal for a devotee. So whatever circumstances he is in, whatever shape or form he is in, his only goal is always to surrender unto Lord Krishna and serve him with those devotional service methodology. Right? So moksha is not really the end goal of a pure devotee.
Okay.
Yeah. And we'll read about that again and again. It will come again and
Okay.
Anilji?
यथा त्रिवर्गं गुरुभिरात्मने उपशिक्षितं न साधु मेने तच्छिक्षां द्वन्द्वारामोपवर्णिताम्. The teachers Shand and Amark instructed Prahlāda Maharaj in the three kinds of material advancement called religion, economic development, and sense gratification. Prahlāda, however, being situated above such instructions, did not like them, for such instructions are based on the duality of worldly affairs, which involve one in a materialistic way of life marked by birth, death, old age, and disease. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. In a nice purpose, let's read this, Ajay.
The entire world is interested in the materialistic way of life. Indeed, practically 99.9% of the people in the three worlds are uninterested in liberation or spiritual education. Only the devotees of the Lord, healed by such great personalities as Prahlāda Maharaj and Narad Muni, are interested in the real education of spiritual life. One cannot understand the principles of religion while staying on the material platform. Therefore, one must follow these great personalities. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam 6.3.20, Swayambhur Narada Sambhu Kumara Kapilo Manu Prahlādo Janako Bhishmo Balir Vayaskir Vayam. One must follow in the footsteps of such great personalities as Lord Brahma, Narad, Lord Shiva, Kapila Manu, the Kumaras, the Prahlād Maharaj, Bhishma, Janak, Bali Maharaj, Sukhdev Goswami, and Yamaraj. Those interested in spiritual life should follow Prahlād Maharaj in rejecting the education of religion, economic development, and sense gratification. One should be interested in spiritual education. Therefore, the Krishna consciousness movement is spreading all over the world, following in the footsteps of Prahlāda Maharaj, who did not like any of the materialistic education he received from his teachers. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So the important part mentioned here is that, who are the great personalities? Like they are the true Mahatmas who are referred, right? You see those 12 personalities named here. Shambhu is Lord Brahma, Narad hai, Sambhu hai Lord Shiva, Kumar hai, right? Sanat Kumars, and Kapil Muni, and then all the Manus, and Prahlād Maharaj, Janak, Raja Janak, right? Bhishma, Pitamah, then Bali, and Sukhdev Goswami is referred as Vyak Shakir, and Vayam is Yamraj. So those interested in spiritual life should follow those great personalities, is what is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam itself. Yeah. Hare Krishna, Jyoti. Jyoti?
I think she sent a message that she'll not be able to read.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah. Thank you. Yadacharya paravrito grihamegiya karmashu vayasher balkestitra sopahutah kritakshane. When the teachers went home to attend their household affairs, the students of the same age as Prahlāda Maharaj would call him to take the opportunity of leisure hours for play. Yeah. Anilji?
अथ ताञ्लक्ष्ण्या वाचा प्रत्याहूय महाबुधः उवाच विद्वांस्तनिष्ठां कृपया प्रहसन्निव. Prahlāda Maharaj, who was truly the supreme learned person, then addressed his class friends in very sweet language. Smiling, he began to teach them about the uselessness of the materialistic way of life. Being very kind to them, he instructed them as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So then Prahlāda Maharaj starts instructing all the students who are there of his age group. Yeah. After the teachers left. Prem?
Te tu todot was survey takita kida parichada bala advish dhyo dvanda rami rihite paryupasat Rajendra Tanyast Hrideshna Tana Karno Matro Mahabhagavato Sura. My dear King Yudhishthir, all the children were very much affectionate and respectful to Prahlāda Maharaj. And because of their tender age, they were not so polluted by the instructions and actions of their teachers, who were attached to the condemned duality and bodily comfort. Thus the boys surrounded Prahlāda Maharaj, giving up their playthings, and sat down to hear him. Their hearts and eyes being fixed upon him, they looked at him with great earnestness. Prahlāda Maharaj, although born in a demon family, was an exalted devotee, and he desired their welfare. Thus he began instructing them about the futility of materialistic life. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So my dear King Yudhishthir, who is saying this?
Narad Muni?
Narad Muni. Yeah, if you remember that, how Maharaj Yudhishthira is asking Narad Muni about Shishupal, right?
Yeah.
When Lord Krishna kills Shishupal and then he gets merged into Lord Krishna's body, so he's asking him. And so Narad Muni is telling him all the stories and the of Jay and Vijay, right? And the first is about Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashipu. So what we are reading is about Hiranyakashipu. So what Narad Muni is telling this to Maharaj is that when all the children were so much affectionate and respectful to Prahlāda Maharaj, and then Prahlāda Maharaj began instructing them about the futility of materialistic life. Yeah, and Prahlāda Maharaj is referred as Mahabhagavato. Yeah, even though born in a demon family, yeah, he is Mahabhagavato, and because of that, he is Karuno Metro. Yeah, very kind to all the people. And so this is it. We thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purpose of the 7th canto, 5th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Prahlāda Maharaj, the saintly son of Hiranyakashipu. Yeah, Bolo Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we complete that. We have enough time, so we'll continue reading chapter 6. And chapter 6 is about Prahlāda instructs his demonic schoolmates. So this is all about Prahlāda Maharaj's instructions. Yeah. Ajay?
Shri Prahlāda watch. Kaumar Acharetra Pragyo Dharman Bhagavatani Durlabham Manusham Janma Tadapya Dhruva Marthadan. Prahlāda Maharaj said, one who is sufficiently intelligent should use the human form of body from the very beginning of life. In other words, from the tender age of childhood, to practice the activities of devotional service, giving up all other engagements. The human body is most rarely achieved, and although temporary like other bodies, it is meaningful because in human life one can perform devotional service. Even a slight amount of sincere devotional service can give one complete perfection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So Prahlāda Maharaj is now instructing Sri Prahlāda Vacha. Yeah. And he's saying like one who is intelligent, Acharita Pragya. Pragya is the intelligent. One who is sufficiently intelligent. What should they do, right? They should use the human form of body from the very beginning of life. Yeah. used for practicing the activities of devotional service. Yeah, Dharman Bhagavata Ani hai. They should practice the activities of devotional service right from the childhood. Why? Because the human body is most rarely achieved. Durlabham Manusham Janma. We have heard this many times. Manushya Janma is so durlabh. Durlabham Manusham Janma. Yeah. So the human body is most rarely achieved, and although temporary, like other bodies, yeah, we also know that the human body is also temporary, right? Adhurvam means it's temporary. Still, Arthadam means even though it is temporary, like other bodies, it is meaningful. It has some earth, some meaning. Why? Because in human life, one can perform devotional service. This is the possibility only in the human form of life. Yeah, can perform devotional service. And it's mentioned that even a slight amount of sincere devotional service can give one complete perfection. And this is being mentioned by none other than Prahlāda Mahārāja. Yeah. And actually, we read about this already. Let's just from this. Ajay?
As already stated by Prahlāda Mahārāja, Bhagavad Dharma consists of Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pad Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. In all the schools, colleges, and universities, and at home, all children and youth should be taught to hear about the Supreme Personalities of Godhead. In other words, they should be taught to hear the instruction of Bhagavad Gita to put them into practice in their lives, and thus to become strong in devotional service, free from the fear of being degraded to animal life. Following Bhagavad Dharma has been made extremely easy in the age of Kali. The Shastra says, Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Namav Kevalam, Kalau Nasti, Iva Nasti, Iva Nasti, Iva Gatir Anyaha. Anyatha. One need only chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Everyone engaged in the practice of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra will be completely cleansed from the core of his heart and be saved from the cycle of birth and death. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So very important paragraph mentioned here, right? First of all, we know that we just read in the previous chapter, right? Prahlāda Mahārāja is telling Hiranyakashipu what is the best thing he has learned. Yeah. And best thing he learned was the devotional service. How do we do the devotional service? By doing Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasham, Sakhyam, and Atmanivedanam. And then we had the examples of them, right? Do you remember that? Shravanam, who is the example?
Parikshit Maharaj.
Parikshit Maharaj, right? Parikshit Maharaj is listening to Srimad Bhagavatam, right? And Kirtanam. Who is that? Kirtanam.
I can only remember Narad Muni, but the name was different.
Yeah, Narad Muni is also Kirtanam. But who is also instructing this Srimad Bhagavatam? Who is reciting this to Sukdev Goswamiji? Sukdev Goswamiji is the one reciting Parikshit Maharaj. So and again, there are many examples, but those are the ones mentioned. And Vishnu Smaranam.
Vishnu Smaranam is Prahlāda Mahārāja, right?
Yeah, Prahlāda Mahārāja itself, right? He's constantly remembering Vishnu, Bhagavan, and Pad Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, right? So
Pad Sevanam is Lakshmi ji.
Right. Pad Sevanam is Goddess Lakshmi, yeah? Goddess of fortune, Mahalakshmi, because it's mentioned that Mahalakshmi, like thousands of Mahalakshmis, are already always doing the doing the seva of lotus feet of Lord Vishnu, is what is mentioned, right? And then we have Archanam. I think we had who is in the Archanam? Remember? And we had Akrur,
True.
right? And then we had Vandanam. Yeah, recollect. And then Dasham we had Hanumanji, of course.
Hanumanji,
Kami Arjun, right?
Arjun.
Yeah, and then Atma Nivedanam. Multiple examples were given for Atma Nivedanam also. Yeah. So we'll go back and again check.
Yeah,
Remember all these examples, right?
I have bookmarked those 24, 25. So time to revisit.
Yeah, you remember what shlok is that?
Yeah, it's chapter 6.4.24 and 25, I think.
Right, so let's go there. Since we are talking about that, chapter 4 and shlok number?
24, 25.
Hmm.
No, I think the next is it the next chapter.
Next chapter, maybe, is it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
chapter
it's
5.
chapter
Chapter
6.
5, is it? Yeah.
Yeah,
23, 24.
that- yeah.
Yeah. Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Vishnuram Pad Sevanam, Archanam Vandanam Dasha, Sakyam Atma Nivedanam. That's what Prahlāda Maharaj mentions. And then the examples are given here. It's a big, huge paragraph written by Swami Prabhupada, right? For the purport. So, okay, so we had Shravanam, then we read about Kirtanam, right? Vishnu Shravanam, then Pad Sevanam is Lakshmi Ji, Archanam is
Prithu Maharaj.
Prithu Maharaj. Yeah, Archanam is Prithu Maharaj, right? And Vandanam is Akrur.
Akrur Maharaj, yeah.
So, yeah, we can always go back and refer to this, right? I mean, yeah, I think it's mentioned in the end. Yeah, we have Atma Nivedanam and Bhakti Vivek. Best examples of Atma Nivedanam are found in Bali Maharaj and Ambrish Maharaj. Yeah, because Atma Nivedanam is surrendering everything. And that's what Bali Maharaj did, right? He asks Vaman Dev, like he puts the third feet onto his head when he didn't have anything left, right? So that's like Atma Nivedana. Yeah. So nice. And then the other thing which is mentioned here is in Kali Yuga. Yeah. In Kali Yuga, it has been made so easy to do the devotional service. And the way to do the devotional service in Kali Yuga is Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nameva Kevalam. One need only chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Kalayu naste eva naste eva naste eva tatir anyatha. Everyone engaged in this practice of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra will be completely cleansed from the core of his heart and be saved from the cycle of birth and death and old age and disease. Yeah. So instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, his Jayanti just went on 22nd March. Sorry. The Jayanti is coming up on 22nd March or 22nd March. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll continue reading. Sorry. Anilji. Oh,
यथा हि पुरुषस्येह विष्णोः पादोपसर्पणम् यदेष सर्वभूतानां प्रिय आत्मेश्वरः सुहृत्. The human form of life affords one a chance to return home, back to Godhead. Therefore, every living entity, especially in the human form of life, must engage in devotional service to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. This devotional service is natural because Lord Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the most beloved, the master of the soul, and the well-wisher of all other living beings. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And who is saying this?
Narad Muni is saying Yudhishthira, or
Who is speaking right now? Yeah, of course, Narad Muni is telling Yudhishthira Maharaj, but currently, who is speaking?
Prahlāda Maharaj is talking to his friends.
Prahlāda Maharaj is telling all the other students who are there. After Shandanakarm leaves, he is giving all these instructions, right? And what he's saying that Vishnu's Padu Shamarpanam, yeah, everyone in the human form of life must engage in devotional service to the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu. Yeah, is what is being said because he is Sarva Bhutanam Priya hai. So he is beloved of everyone. Hello, Hare Krishna, Sachin.
Hare Krishna.
Read.
The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 5.29, Bhoktaram Yagya Tapasam Sarva Loka Maheshwaram Suradam Sarva Bhutanam Jnatva Mama Santim Rachati. The sage who knows me as the ultimate purpose of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attains peace from kinds of material miseries. Simply by understanding these three facts, that the Supreme Lord Vishnu is the proprietor of the entire creation, that he is the best well-wishing friend of all living entities, and that he is the supreme enjoyer of everything, one becomes peaceful and happy. For this transcendental happiness, the living entity has wandered throughout the universe in different forms of life and different planetary systems, but because he has forgotten his intimate relationship with Vishnu, he has merely suffered life after life. Therefore, the educational system in the human form of life should be so perfect that one will understand his intimate relationship with God or Vishnu. Every living entity has an intimate relationship with God. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So the education system should be where, yeah, one can understand the relationship with Lord Vishnu. Is what is mentioned. Yeah. Prem sir.
One should therefore glorify the Lord in the adoration of Santarasa, or revive his eternal relationship with Vishnu as a servant in the Dasya Rasa, a friend in Sakya Rasa, a parent in Vatsalya Rasa, or a conjugal lover in Madhurya Rasa. All these relationships are on the platform of love. Vishnu is the center of love for everyone, and therefore the duty of everyone is to engage in the loving service of the Lord. As stated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Bhagavad 3.25.38, Yesam aham priya atma sutas cha sakha guru srudo devam istam. In any form of life, we are related with Vishnu, who is the most beloved, the super soul, son, friend, and guru. Our eternal relationship with God can be revived in the human form of life, and that should be the goal of education. Indeed, that is the perfection of life and the perfection of education. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So as a human form, our eternal relationship with God can be revived because we have been conditioned soul. We have forgotten that relationship, right? So we need to revive that. How do we revive that? What is the process of reviving that relationship with God, Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna? Is by doing the devotional service, right?
Yeah.
By surrendering to Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. And surrendering means doing the devotional service. And we just saw the 9 different ways, Shravanam, Kirtanam, right? And that should be the goal of education, is what is mentioned here. And that is the goal of the education. And that is indeed the perfection of human life. Yeah. And perfection of education. So one more shlok, Ajay.
Yeah. Sukh Mandriyakam Daitya Dehayogen Dehinam Sarvatra Labhyate Devadyatha Dukhmay Anantana Nanta Prahlāda Maharaj continued, my dear friends born of demonic families, the happiness perceived with reference to the sense objects by contact with the body can be obtained in any form of life, according to one's past fruitive activities. Such happiness is automatically obtained without endeavor, just as we obtain distress. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So Prahlāda Maharaj is basically continuing giving this spiritual message to all the friends that it's very easy to get the sense objects. Contact with the body can be obtained in any form of life, right? But in human form of life is when you can do the devotional service. We are going to pause here and we'll continue reading this. Again, a beautiful purport. We'll read it tomorrow. Yeah. So let's pause and we'll hear the Kirtan. Shravanam Kirtanam. Yeah. So very beautiful Kirtan by Kripaluji Maharaj. RadheGovind, 5 minutes. We'll hear this.
Radhe
RadheGovind Bhagavan ki
Jai.
Krishna. So beautiful kirtan. Balaji Maharaj's kirtans are always very blissful. And as Anil ji remind कर रहे थे कि अभी होली भी आ रही है, and we are reading about Prahlāda Maharaj, so that's just such a good coincidence. So we'll continue to read about Prahlāda Maharaj. See you tomorrow at 9:30. Yeah.
Okay. Good
Hare
night. Hare
Krishna.
Krishna.